Hey folks, it's Robin Robbins here, Big Red again, coming with another Better Your Best finalist for this year's boot camp. Super excited about this year. Every year it gets tougher. I'm telling you, the candidates are just phenomenal this year as they are every year. I'm talking today with Brandis Kelly with DigeTekS. I hope I said that right because I always want to stumble over that. I don't know why. It's like I said it
Spelling.
5 times fast. Yeah. So Brandis, I mean, a lot of our members already know you. You've been a member for a really long time. You're one of our client coaches, so you know the marketing really well. But for those who don't know who you are, just give us a little background on DigeTekS and you, just to kind of set the table.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brandis Kelly, yes, and I am a client coach as well as a captain of a PC group, my amazing PC group. DigeTekS, so we were founded in 2005, and our original headquarters was in Colorado, up kind of north of Denver. Since then, so in 2020, we actually shut all that down, and we're like 100% remote, so we're all over the place, and we're now in I think 9 different states. We added a few this last year. So, Wyoming, Kansas, Texas, Hawaii, actually, Virginia,
Wow.
South Dakota. We're kind of ever Florida is another one. We're kind of all over the place. Top line this year, we hit almost 4 million. We hit 3.9. We have 20 on our team now. We are hiring at least a few more. We're hiring another SDR, another technician. We have someone when we bring on a new client in a new state, we hire there. So makes sense. See, that kind of covers the majority of it. I guess we also are our main 3 niches, and I know that I say niche and other people say niche, but I say niche. So our main 3 niches are financial institutions. We do have like CPAs and whatnot, but we also have several banks, and then hospitals, healthcare hospitals, and small governments. So just government entities. It's kind of the
Cool.
main.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty incredible. I mean, I think a lot of people at your size would be just trying to handle one city, one area, so that's phenomenal. And your growth has been phenomenal. It just really, really good. So like, I guess the first question, I mean, last year you grew over a million, 1.1 million top line. And you're just shy of 4 million. So it's not like you were 30 million and added a million. When you're like 3 million or just under 3 million and you add a million, that's like a significant jump. So obviously sales and marketing, but what have been the big changes in mindset, in approach, in strategy that have allowed you to add that kind of growth in a single year?
I think for us, it was really taking a targeted focus on what are we good at. Like, we're all over the place. I could throw a rock and hit Producers Club achieving amazing MSPs in the majority of the states and the locations that we're in. So we really had to set out to focus on what do we do best, which is security and compliance. Like we're all over that, especially in the banking industry. That I feel like the banking audits, like it's like FSSCC puts CMMC to shame.
Oh,
So we focused on like our specialization statement, what we specialize in, going after our target market, cleaning our lists. Like holy shit, that matters.
it
You have
does.
to have a clean list, or you're just going to waste money. Just really, we got good SDRs in place. We didn't really have that. We had people, they we had people that were not doing it very well. That
Mhm.
takes a special kind of person, and they're hard to find. And I know you have some amazing ones, but like they are hard to find. Um,
Yeah, it
really,
only it
just
only took us what 10 years to get it right.
yeah,
So just hang
yeah,
in there, okay?
yeah.
It
Yeah,
gets
exactly.
easier.
Word to the wise. Yeah. I mean, really, it was just a combination of a lot of things. Identifying what was broken. We were coming into the valley of death, and that's a tough place to be. And when you get there, it's like more money, more problems. When you get there, you realize like all these things you thought were working were not working. They weren't consistent. Our marketing wasn't really consistent. We had to tweak a lot of things. We had to improve a lot of things, and then putting the right people in the right places. But the majority of our growth, honestly, a lot of it came from existing clients. Like I I coached that. I showed them, I'm like, guys, do your TBRs, do this. Like, look at our numbers. This isn't because we're adding like 30 clients this year. We added like 13. We didn't have like this massive amount of new client acquisition growth. And I think that's really important to note because so many people are scared to do that, and you have to. That's the easy money, right?
Right.
And we didn't also go at our TBR approach was not looking at what we could sell our client. It was not that at all. It was how can we help you grow. So 4 of our existing clients, which were already pretty good sized, significantly grew. Like one of our banks is what like was at right around 20K at the end of last year. They're now at 40. Well, not the end of last year, the end of 2022. They're now at 40. So they doubled. They added like 3 or 4 new locations, and we were there to help plot and plan and budget that out for them and help them with that growth. So
Yeah.
4 of our clients grew by a significant amount.
Yeah, and that's important to point out, because I think as an MSP, one of it's one of the campaigns we use is, have you outgrown your MSP? So, a lot of people might be watching this and thinking, well, that's why she grew so much. She didn't do anything special. It just her clients got bigger. But the reality is you have to be able to grow with your clients, because if you don't, you will lose those clients, because in the marketing for bigger MSPs, that's what they say. Yeah, you're going to outgrow this person. So, you're right. You got to focus on who's your best customer, and you got to dial those TBRs in. And maybe if you hadn't done the work that you're talking about, you might not still have that client instead of growing with those clients. So, and it seems like in your, what I was reading through here, because DigeTekS, like you joined on like when was it
At the beginning of the year. Yep.
Okay.
I came on at the beginning of the year.
Okay. And so they were already a Producers Club member, right? And so they had a lot of things going. But I think what I loved about what you said here is it was like sort of Keystone Cops, it was like all these part-time pieces, but there was no real together cohesive, strategic, well-knit plan. And I think that's what you did. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. And no disrespect, obviously, to anything that they had going. And there was a lot of things that were done, just not to the level that I would have like pushed to have done. Right. At the time, I know that like even when they went through Rapid, because I wasn't there then, I went through Rapid, with the other company back in 2019. But at the time, I know the marketing person, or at least the person who was helping with the marketing. I'm not going to call her the marketing person because she was wearing a lot of other hats. That was not her main job. And it is really hard to like, if that's not like your key focus, it can get out of sight, out of mind. So we did obviously bring on an actual marketing, like this is your job. That's all you have to focus on. There was a lot of things in place, but it wasn't consistent. It was a little, it was piecemeal. It
Okay.
was our website was, you could call it Robinized. You could, but it wasn't to the degree like, where's our pop-up ads? What's our message here? Where's our pictures? Like this looks, it kind of just,
It needed a little
kind
love.
of wasn't
Yeah.
great. It wasn't the world's worst website, but it needed a lot of love. Yes. We just needed to fine tune. We needed to go through our free reports. We need to make sure like our X reasons. I'm pretty sure like it felt like they were just dumped from, here's an example of what you could say. It wasn't to us. It didn't like focus on us. Our USP, I talk about cringe-worthy, Mike McAllowitz, right? Our USP made me cringe. I'm like, are you kidding? Like we have since refined that. It was just like, it's almost like they were doing it to get it done, but it wasn't the same. And I will also add that the person who was supposed to be in charge of this didn't physically in person go to Rapid. And that is a huge factor right there. So Shane, one of the owners, went through Rapid, and then Steph was like, hey, do this. Okay, it's just not the same. It's like people not going to boot camp in person. Not the same.
Yeah.
So that has since changed. In fact, we actually just went through Rapid. We went through Rapid 66 in the end of January. So we're going through again. I took Brayla and Steph, and I'm like, no, we're doing this together. This is like a collective effort. You have to have owner buy-in. You really do. I think that is critical. or you have to have some, like me, like I'm just going to say, okay, hey, like this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing because it needs done. If I have to wait on an answer for something, I'm not going to do that. I'll say, okay, I'm going to make this decision by 5 o'clock today, or you give me your feedback right now, because we have to move that needle. And we were successful in that because it was just like, okay, fine, just do it, because there's so much that, like, done for you newsletter. Who has time? I mean, even at 2 million, who has time to print 1,000 newsletters and then like mail them and do all these things? Like, nobody has time for that. Get done for if it saves you time, done for you all the way. I could
Right.
be like a spokesperson for your done for you services, done for you all the way. I'm serious. Time is
Right.
money.
No, you're right. I think what you're doing is you're buying back time for yourself to
Yep.
do other more important things, because I think that's a mistake a lot of business owners make, is they try to, and I see with Producers Club members, because when I sit down, like, at meetings, and we have the accountability group meetings, the story is always the same. I'm trying to get it done, and I'm just not fine. I can't get organized enough. I can't. And it's always that the owner's trying to hang on to doing that work. I'm like, look, you need to hire, outsource, delegate, because
Mm-hmm.
you're freeing up your time to do more important strategic work. It's not like you're sitting there having someone peel grapes and fan you. It's like, no, you're going to be working. You're just not going to be stuffing envelopes or cleaning lists or whatever it is that they're doing. It's important there. So, well, let me ask you this, because I note the owner buy-in is really, really critical. I agree 1,000%, because we see it all the time. Um, you mentioned TBRs as being a big campaign that you did. Was there anything else, or was that it, or were there any other big changes you made? I'm just curious, like campaigns that really made a difference.
You got to take a chance. You got to get in front of people, get in front of the right audience. So we did quite a few lunch and learns, in-person cybersecurity trainings, webinars. We did Small Business Tech Day, creating that authority. I even did a few news interviews. I wasn't as much, celebrity status. That's not what I was, really going after for me, for Shane, for the business. It was more authority, like the
Mhm.
trusted advisors. Here's the people you go to when you have these questions. We also have we have our own internal SOC team. So we also do security. I'm going to call it an analysis because it's so much more than an assessment. You could call it like a third party, like audit maybe, but we can sell those all day long, but that gets your foot in the door. That's what we're doing right now. And from a lead from a JV partner, that's another thing. JV partnerships.
Mhm.
That's a big one. But we also did all kinds of other marketing strategies. So we do have our newsletters going out consistently, and our tech tip postcards, and getting our face in front of people. We do canvassing a lot, and 5 round drops. We're starting to, well, I shouldn't say we're starting to, we do meet since like Q2, I want to say. We started meeting regularly, weekly, having our weekly marketing and our weekly sales calls, and focusing and doing role playing and improving our process there.
Mhm.
Conversion. So we also meet with clients that are not MRR clients. Now, not every single active client. That's not what I'm saying. But
Mhm.
ones that we have decent relationships, maybe they give us, I don't know, project work every couple months or something. We're continuously meeting with them and trying to kind of push them towards managed services. And 4 of those clients last year also converted. And we have another one right now that's like, hey, and he's like, hey, I don't really like my IT guy anymore. So we're going to be there to, it's kind of like a marriage, right? If I were trying, I'm not trying to break up a marriage, but if you've got that's a horrible thing to say, but if you've got a friend who's like always there, and is partnered up because he knows that that's a bad relationship and the girl's going to leave the husband, he's going to be there to catch her. That's what we have been to break up this marriage. Is a horrible analogy, but it's what I thought of right now.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. I get it. No, and I mean, you are phenomenal at the marketing. So, like and like all the other contestants, guys, we have the essays and the examples will be in there, and we'll make sure you have links, all the campaigns. I mean, this a lot of this is not revolutionary in the sense of like these are things that we give you as templates and tools, but executing it really, really well is what's key. Because you can get an idea and half-ass it, or you can execute it really, really well, and the results are exponential. So sounds great. Let me ask you this. So you're going to be on stage at boot camp. It's going to be very exciting. I mean, just you and 1,500 of your closest friends, no,
Right.
no pressure, right? With the virtual and everything else that we're doing. Like, let me ask you, because you've been to multiple boot camps, you've been a member for a while. Why is it important for people to go in person? What would you say to the person maybe who's never been there, or they're going, I hear about this, but I'm going to, I'll just watch it on the virtual, or I'll just watch it on demand later. I mean, what would you tell those people? Why they have to be there in person?
I mean, it's comparable to doing anything virtually. You're going to have distractions. You're going to have, you might. It's not the same as when you're physically there, and there's a lot of sessions that you're going to miss. Like, I don't know if every single session, even like the breakouts, I don't know if they're all
No, they're not
going to
all.
be shown exactly. So there's a
Right.
lot of those key, like very focused, specific, like who do I want to hear from your team. And a lot of times, even PC members will have breakout sessions. Honestly, what you don't show on video is, I think, the biggest factor of what you miss. The conversations in the lobby, the conversations with vendors, just talking to fellow peers. And I cannot speak high enough about the community itself and how much I learned from just all kinds of friends we have. I mean, you
Mhm.
said, 1,500 are your closest friends, and it's not 1,500, but I mean, easily several hundred that I would
150 at
consider,
least.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, really like close. Like, if I needed anything, plus, you know what? One of the things that I always encourage anybody to do when I hear them crying about, oh, I've only got 3,000 people in my area, my list is small, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, get out of your own backyard. You know how you get out of your own backyard? Form relationships with the MSPs in this community. And so if you need some boots on the ground somewhere, I just saw this on the queue the other day and I loved it. I loved it so much. Somebody posted, like, I've got this massive list of we're talking about taking on this client. And I saw all these people say, hey, I can help you here. I can help you here. And I love that. Like, use your relationships, develop those relationships, because they're not going to try to steal your business. That's like a homie hookup.
Hmm.
And your vendor relationships. There's so many vendors there. It is insane. It is
Yeah, I think
insane.
we're at
Like,
98 or something like that. It's a lot. We try and cram them all in the hallway out there, so it's got buzz, and they
yeah.
always have like tchotchkes, and the vendors are funny because every year they get into it, and this year's going to be Austin Power, so I just can't wait to
Oh,
see
it's gonna
what
be
they're going to
great.
do.
It's gonna be great.
So very
Yep.
cool. Very cool. Well, I appreciate you so much. We're going to see you on stage at boot camp, guys. Make sure you read Brandis's whole story on all the campaigns. Everything are going to be available to our members and those of you attending boot camp. So make sure you're there
Yes. In person.
in
Yes.
person. Yeah. Thanks, Brandis.